Hey everyone, this is Donna, the Technology and Media Librarian for the Upper Arlington Public Library. I'm here with another video in our YouTube technology series, and this time I'll be talking about Zoom, but more specifically on Zoom privacy tips. So you might remember from our last video on video conferencing software that we talked about Zoom, Google Meet, and Skype. In this video, I'm just going to be focusing on a few of my favorite privacy tips for Zoom that you can adopt as you start to attend or even host Zoom meetings of your own. So let's get started. So my very first tip is about your name. If you are a meeting guest, you might want to consider how you're presenting your name during a meeting. So if you're not comfortable sharing your first and last names with your meeting group, just change your name either before you join the meeting, or you can change your name by renaming yourself during a Zoom meeting and while it's in progress. So you'd click on the participants icon at the bottom of the screen. This will open a panel on the right side of your screen. Just click on your name, click rename from that menu, and then type in a new name for yourself. If you are scheduling a meeting on Zoom, be sure not to use your personal meeting ID. Instead, use the randomly generated meeting ID for each meeting and then use a password for each meeting too. So if you go here in the Zoom client and you click on schedule a meeting, you'll see that there is an option to generate a meeting ID automatically. Don't use the personal meeting ID. You can even go into your Zoom settings online, and I'll demonstrate this in just a second, to completely turn off the personal meeting ID. If you're a host or a guest, be mindful of where and with whom you share your meeting information. So if you share the meeting link, the meeting ID, and the password directly with your intended guests, don't share it publicly, and that includes posting it on social media, or if you're a guest, sharing it with others who are not authorized to be in the meeting. And that's one way that you can keep meetings safe from Zoom bombing. You'll want to go into your account settings and make sure that certain features are both enabled and disabled. The first one is the Join Before Host feature, and we do want that turned off. If you turn off Join Before Host, it means that anyone who tries to join the meeting before you, the host, are there will only see a message asking them to wait for you to begin the meeting. So if it's not turned on, then your guests can begin the meeting without you. So what we'll do is we'll go back here to our account settings while we're signed into Zoom. We'll make sure that we're here under the settings section. And then we're going to scroll down until we get to Join Before Host, and we're going to make sure that that is turned off. It's right here. We want Join Before Host. Right now it is toggled off, so this will not allow participants to join the meeting before you, the host, arrive. Now, also in your account settings, which is where we are right now, you'll want to make sure that you've turned on something called the waiting room feature. Waiting room means that you, the host, have to admit each individual guest to join before they can attend the meeting. If waiting room is enabled, Join Before Host is automatically disabled. So you just want to make sure that you've turned on waiting room. So if we scroll up here in our settings, you'll see that there's a waiting room section, and we'll say when participants join a meeting, they'll go into a waiting room and you have to admit them individually. So you can see here that is toggled on. This is what the waiting room will look like if somebody tries to enter before you've let them in. Lock the meeting so that nobody else can join. So if you click on the security button at the bottom of your screen, click on the lock meeting room option, and that will prevent anyone else from joining the meeting until you decide to unlock the meeting room. If you need to mute callers or, as a last resort, remove someone from a meeting altogether, just know your settings as a host. If you click on the participants button, you'll see on the right side of your screen a panel with a list of all of the participants. If you need to mute someone, just click that mute button, which will automatically turn off their audio. And if you need to remove someone, click the more button and then select remove from that list. You'll be asked to confirm that you do in fact want to remove them from a meeting. Of course, one of the things that you can do as host is stop someone's video by clicking on participants, selecting that participant, and then clicking stop video, which will end their camera stream. Finally, you can prevent others from sharing their screen by clicking on that share screen button at the bottom, then clicking on advanced sharing options and making sure only host is selected. This is also a setting from your Zoom account. So if you go to personal and then settings while you're logged into your Zoom account online, scroll down until you get to the section about screen sharing, and then make sure that host only is set as the default option. Before we go, I just want to let you know that we do have resources linked below in the video description, so be sure to click below to check those out and see what's available online for you when it comes to Zoom privacy and security settings. I also want to let you know that our contact information is on the screen right now, so if you'd like to contact our media services department with your questions, or if you have suggestions for future videos that you'd like to see, please do drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you for watching.